What's up, zoners? Welcome to the Week 12 Waiver Wire ad episode. It is also our smashes and crashes, our studs and duds. And hey, we have news for you, the latest fantasy football breaking news. If that sounds interesting to you, hold on for 7 seconds.
You can do it!
What's up, zoners? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard Ethan Wolk, coming at you live from the West Coast. This is the Fantasy Red Zone. Today's episode, Jason, we were traveling. I was traveling back from seeing Jason's ass yesterday. I did not have a chance to do the Waiver Wire show. I only watched a little bit of shit. I got home, played video games with Jason like for an hour, went to sleep. So no time for that. We do have a very condensed Jason version of that today. Then we have, our normal smashes and crashes, which is our studs and duds. If you have a player that did shitty, you want to know why, fast forward to the crashes. If you have a player that you want to know why he did so well, go fast forward to the smashes, Jason. Please, before we get into all that, Jason, please tell the public how they can help this show. I'm talking crazy right now.
Yeah, you guys could give us some support by pressing like, or was it pressing the subscription? Hitting the subscription, press the like, because we like the likes. If you guys got any questions, or if you guys had any smashes or crashes, let us know in the comments. And then if you're into the radio stuff, we're also on Spotify, the Fantasy Red Zone radio stuff.
Yeah, sorry we're acting weird. We took the day off, had a long day yesterday. So Jason just literally had to pick up 1,000 balloons with his bare hands. But anyways.
It's a strain, man. It's a strain, especially on the lower back.
Let's get straight into this, Jason. Are you ready for the news? Oh yeah, I do want to say if you disagree, if you have somebody that did shitty, please post a comment. If you had somebody that smashed it, just let us know, man. We will congratulate you. All right, Jason. First off, this happened on Thursday night. Mark Andrews, Joe Burrow out for the year. Jason, you were trying to get Joe Burrow. You were either wanted Lamar Jackson or Joe Burrow pre-draft process. You barely missed out on Burrow. Thank God you did. Mark Andrews, you owned. How do you feel about all this? I think we'll be going on a little bit later in the waiver wire, and I'll tell you what I think about the implications of Mark Andrews.
I feel like I'm an actual NFL team here, and it's just riddled with injuries all season.
Yeah, so Jason has been dealing with a lot of injuries. My 10-man team's been dealing with fucking injuries all year long, and we got Justin Jefferson's like, I don't know when I will come back.
Right.
Come on, man.
He's out there in his shades and stuff. It's like, dude, just get on the field.
I just think they're so high underneath those shades. It's like
he's like, I don't know how to deal with a hamstring strain. Never had it before.
It's like I would do the same thing, man. All right. Anyways, Jason, but Joe Burrow being out, that is huge for Jamar Chase. Somebody was like, dude, I think Jamar Chase almost goes to wide receiver 2 status. T. Higgins is already dealing with a fucking injury. Now he's almost irrelevant, like whatever I'm trying to say. You know what I'm talking about.
Irrelevant.
I'm having issues, man. So yeah. Next up, Jason, Kenneth Walker. My Kenneth Walker, man. I've been trying to trade his ass for a month. Nobody wants to trade with the top dog. He left early with a legit. It was so legit he had to quit. Oblique strain. When I saw average time missed for oblique strains, it's like 2 weeks. If it's really bad, it could be more. Christian McCaffrey, I think, missed 1 week. So there is a precedence for that. I don't even know. Christian McCaffrey didn't miss a fucking week. I remember that. I picked up Jordan Mason. I was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, God damn you.
McCaffrey, I think when he had that injury, it was a Monday night game that he was going to play next. I think that extra day helped him. So
there you go, Jason. Cooper Kupp, Jason, limped off the field with an ankle injury. And Puka, man, I had a Puka. I started him that game. That game was fucked. And then Puka came back. I think it was like the second half, caught a touchdown, got those targets. So fire up them Pukachus, Jason. Cooper Kupp is probably going to cost people leagues this season. But hey, he drafted him injured anyways, so I don't know what you want.
The first thing I thought about was like, man, this dude, I think he had probably like 1 or 2 good games, and then he's injured again, and people wasted probably like a second or third round pick on this guy. It's not good. I tried trading for him early in the year too, and I was fortunate enough not to. The guy was a bozo and didn't want to do the trade. So,
and again, they have like one of the easiest playoff schedules for wide receivers. So Puka Nakua, I'm glad I did not trade him, Jason. Holding that fool. But yeah, dude, Cooper Kupp had last 3 games had like 5 points or less. And now he's injured. Sucks, dude. You gambled on him and you drafted him high and it did not pay off. Joe Flacco, Jason. Joe Flacco was seen on a plane and they were like, "Hey, what's going on, Joe Flacco?" You'll find out in the news, he says.
Yeah.
The Browns, he just signed with the Browns practice squad. Hey, that might be okay. I mean, he played with Elijah Moore before, I'm pretty sure, on the Jets.
Yeah, on the Jets.
Yeah, but dude, Amari Cooper needs Joe Flacco. Amari Cooper is irrelevant. Oh my God, I can't fucking talk.
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant. I'm like, keep on saying revenant. Like I'm playing goddamn Apex Legends.
Hey, that's cool too.
That's cool too. So yeah, Joe Flacco, I do not think he's worth picking up, but Amari Cooper owner, man. If you might want to trade for Amari Cooper, maybe if you can get him for super cheap. Jason, another blow to your dick. Achan left yesterday's game after 1 carry with an injury to the same knee, dude. The same knee he missed time for. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I did.
He's my Elijah Mitchell. He's my Elijah Mitchell of last year.
And he said he wanted to return, but the Dolphins kept him out of precaution. Yeah, dude, you just injured. It's your first game back and you fucked your knee up. It's like, okay, I wanted to come back, but they held me out. It's like, yeah, like it's like when you get in a fight and you're like, hold me back.
Yeah.
It's like, hold me back. I want to go in there.
Hold me back.
It's like, God damn it, dude.
I tried, but Tyler held me back, man. Remember that.
So Raheem Mostert got like 22 carries. His schedule fucking sucks for the playoffs, so I'm not going to go out there and say go trade for Raheem Mostert. But if you are a Mostert owner, I guess we're along for this ride for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And then Jason, Aaron Jones out with a knee injury. They thought it was an ACL. They got it checked, MRI. It is still intact. They're saying it should not be long term. But yeah, dude, Aaron Jones, talk about injury bust this year, one of the biggest.
Well, that's actually good news because when I was watching that game, they had him in the back of the.
Dude, it looked terrible. I mean, everything I saw was like, "Oh, Aaron Jones is dead. Yep. He's dead.
He's dead. He died on the field. Long live his leg."
All right, Jason. Last thing, I just want to say, Zach Wilson benched. Garrett Wilson, we'll talk about later. But yeah, dude, I don't know how I feel about all this. It's just fucked up. I mean, dude, the Jets are just so screwed. Aaron Rodgers. People are saying that pick up Aaron Rodgers on waivers now. I saw that when I was just like looking through shit this morning. I was like, oh my God, really? So I don't know how I feel about any of this, but yeah, Jets are fucked, dude. I still think Garrett Wilson I would start every week.
Yeah, Boyle rules. Man, if Aaron Rodgers comes back, I'm going to really hate my trade if somehow I make it to the playoffs.
Hey, my pen is not fucking whatever, dude. Waivers. This is for the timestamps and for you guys.
It benefits
all. On to the waivers. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm just going to chill. Let's hear it.
Well, I'm going to get your opinion after every little bit. Running back Charbonnet, Jason, 15 for 47 after Walker left with an ankle injury. 84% snap share. So if Walker's out, it is not going to be like the 50-50 situation that's going on right now. It's going to be all Charbonnet. They are at the Rams next week. Kenneth Walker, dude, I don't know how long he's going to be out. Like I said, 1 to 2 weeks, I would guess. He is injury prone anyways. Their schedule is fucked like for the next month, and it kind of opens up for the playoffs, but not great. So Charbonnet, dude, if he's out on your waiver wire, spend some fucking money on him because you should have done that a long time ago. Jeff Wilson Jr., Jason.
Hold up.
Oh, what'd you say?
Zach Charbonnet just played the Rams, so he's not playing them next week.
Dude, this is what happens when you set your alarm early to go do your waiver wire shit. Damn it, dude. No,
yeah, he plays San Francisco next week.
They didn't play the Rams? Did they?
Seattle, yeah.
Oh my God, I am. Okay, well, don't listen to anything I say.
But they're home against the San Francisco 49ers.
That's great. Not great at all, though, actually. Charbonnet, man, go out there, pick him up. Jeff Wilson Jr. I want to say, did Jeff Wilson Jr. They're at the Jets next week, right?
I think so, yeah.
Or did they play the Jets this week?
No,
they played No, they played the Las Vegas. Okay, they played the Raiders. So this is correct. Okay, I messed up one time, Jason. Get off my back.
I'm off your back. I'm off your back.
Jeff Wilson Jr. Healthy scratch yesterday. Achane, who knows when Achane's coming back, dude? Like, seriously, that sucks. And Ahmed left with injuries yesterday. So we're back to Jeff Wilson Jr., man. And yeah, the playoff schedule is the worst for the quarterback and the wide receivers. But you can actually run on some of the teams that they're facing in the playoffs. But again, dude, the Dolphins get killed when they get quarterback pressures on them. I'm not expecting much from them in the playoffs, but I think Jeff Wilson Jr., for the next month, maybe might be worth a flex player or something like that. Just pick him up. Jason.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, that explains a lot, because I was watching that Miami game, while I was getting the Achane fist to the dick, and I was like, where's Jeff Wilson? I was like, where's this guy at?
Dude, people are, yeah, and everybody was like pumping him up when he was coming back off of IR, like, oh my God, Jeff Wilson time, Jeff Wilson season. Yeah, I don't think he's that great. I mean, he's obviously way behind Mostert, ain't even Ahmed. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, dude, running backs are so fucked this year. Just, you got to pick him up.
Exactly.
Keaton Mitchell, Jason, he's still 35% owned or some shit. I don't understand how he's still out there on all this stuff. He had his first week without a long touchdown. Season high 37% snap rate though. So his snap rate keeps on going up. He is at the Chargers next week, and dude, Keaton Mitchell against the Chargers. Come on, man. You better pick him up. Throw him in your flex. I'm starting him in my flex, I think, every single week in my 10-man league for the last couple weeks. No, last week, because I didn't expect that one, his breakout. So, but yeah, dude, Keaton Mitchell, I would go out there and I'd spend $20 on that dude.
He's got a great matchup next week.
Yeah, I know, man. As soon as I saw that, I was like, shit. So Gus Edwards continues to be the battering ram for this team, but I think it's, if he's getting a third of the snaps, I think that's more than enough for him to be a viable flex. Jason, Ty Chandler, my Vikings, I got to watch that. I think I watched most of that game yesterday, if I can remember correctly. I don't know. I was so fucking tired, man. But I remember thinking, man, Ty Chandler looks good out here. So they host Chicago next week, 10 for 73 versus Denver this week. Second year back, he had a 31-yard run. He is the more explosive back watching that team. And I've been off of Madison since the offseason. I just I don't know why people are so high on Madison. Why do they think he's going to be a wide receiver 1 or 2? This is bullshit. And yeah, Ty Chandler, I think, could be a wide receiver or a running back 1 or 2 given the opportunity. What do you think, Jason?
He averaged 7.3 yards per carry yesterday.
And watching him look, I was like, dude, he is noticeably faster, and I think he might be bigger than Madison. I don't know. I need to look at shit, but
he was on my bench too. On my bench getting 12 points. I was going to start him, but then when Madison came back, I was expecting him to come back from concussion, so I took him out, and I could have benefited from him. Yeah, I could have benefited from him. Jason, Roschon Johnson is next. Foreman was injured, ankle injury. I picked up Deontay Foreman. I was super pumped. I was like, oh my God. Dude, Foreman came out and got the first 4 carries and a touchdown before I think Herbert even touched the ball. Herbert coming out, I thought he was going to kill it because he was the most efficient runner in the league with Achane, but he was averaging 2.3 yards per carry as well. Roschon Johnson, Jason, actually out-snapped Herbert after the Foreman injury and looked a lot better on the ground. He is the highly drafted rookie, 3rd-round rookie. He's at Minnesota next week. That is a terrible matchup, dude. Minnesota playing some awesome defense right now. Thank you, Brian Flores. You fixed that shit. Dude, the Minnesota Vikings have an amazing offensive coordinator, also their head coach, an amazing defensive coordinator. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But Jason, Roschon Johnson, how do you feel about him? He averaged 5 yards a carry in last week's game. And that explains a lot, because I was like, dude, because Foreman was dropped in our league, and you picked him up, right, in our home league?
You made it through the waivers. I had, like I said, I don't know. Let us know in the comments if something weird happened on your ESPN waivers. I had my waivers. They did not go through. He was still on the waiver wire. And I was just able to pick him up. And I was like, what the fuck, dude? Somebody else, I put my waiver in for this dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he started off great. He got a touchdown in the beginning of the game. I was like, why was he dropped? Tyler,
Dude.
you've been also preaching this, like, even with everybody healthy, he's probably going to be the goal line back.
And you saw with Justin Fields back, this offense is not bad. So it's like DJ Moore got us 40% target share, and they did better. And now, dude, Foreman's going to get those touchdowns. They do not want to run Justin Fields on the fucking goal line all the time. Even though he ran the ball more than a lot. I think I read some stat. He fucking ran the hell of the ball. But still, Foreman, man, on tough situations, I still think he's the running back.
Yeah.
All right. And then, Jason, onto the wide receivers. Romeo Doubs, dude, has 4 touchdowns in the last 5 games. And they are at Detroit next week, so they are going to have to score the fucking ball. They're going to have to score to keep up with Detroit. I don't know, man. Like Jaden
Reed?
Yeah, like he's gotten like 3 touchdowns in the last 5 games. He got a rushing touchdown this last one. But dude, Dobbs is just is the constant in this offense. I mean, he's kind of been flex worthy over the last month, which is just kind of weird because I do not want to start a pass catcher for Jordan Love, but Dobbs is it.
Yeah, I picked up Dobbs in our 10-man league. I was surprised he was still on the waivers. He is the last time he played against Detroit, he scored 13 points. It was his highest wide receiver or receiving yards outage of the season. Yeah, he could put up numbers, and it looks like that Love likes him in the red zone. Love Dubs.
Yeah, and I don't know if Musgrave has been out. I don't think he has been. So
he played. He was playing.
Yeah, there you go. Because I was like, I think I have not heard about him being out. Now, Jason, Michael Wilson. I love Michael Wilson. This is also a Michael Wilson post. Go pick up Michael Wilson because Hollywood Brown apparently does not have the connection that his fucking target share has dropped since Kyler Murray's been back. We did not expect this is the opposite of what we expected. But Greg Dortch, 8 targets, 76 yards with Michael Wilson out this week. I do think that Michael Wilson is, the Greg Dortch of whatever. And Rondell Moore did catch that long touchdown. But man, somebody on this offense, some pass catcher, maybe other than Hollywood Brown, might be the primary wide receiver. If Michael Wilson is out, I don't know how, the injury, he almost played this week, but still, if he's out another week, you could probably start Greg Dortch. And man, Hollywood Brown, Jason, how do you feel about Hollywood Brown right now?
Yeah, right now, not looking too happy that I made the trade for him. I traded Nico Collins for Marquise Brown just because of the playoff schedule and Kyler Murray coming back. I mean, he only got 5 targets last week for 2 receptions and 18 yards. I got him for the playoffs. I hope he could do something. I hope they could build some sort of rapport like they did last year. And I guess we just gotta wait and see.
Well, it's a different offensive coordinator. That's like the only it's a whole different coaching regime. That's different.
I know.
But Hollywood Brown did go to college. I mean, that's the reason why he's there. Kyler wanted Hollywood Brown there. So I do expect it to turn around, Jason. I do think that is still going to be a good trade for you. Tank Dell is taking over that shit anyways over there in Houston.
They got the Rams next week.
And they host the Rams next week. Thank you. So, yeah, I have got the Rams. Jason, I should have, when I was doing this, I was like, oh, yeah, the Cardinals host the Rams. But then my first one was the Seattle's at the Rams.
Yeah.
I fucked up. All right, we have another combination, Jason. This is the last of the waiver wire pickups. Isaiah Likely, who Jason is likely to pick up because he lost Mark Andrews. But I was talking about this because it depends on how much man they run, a defense runs. But against man, OBJ actually gets the most targets. And then Andrews went out. I think that might have been a combination of stuff. OBJ, dude, got a 30% target share. That was his highest rate of the season. So OBJ or Isaiah Likely are going to be the benefactors from Mark Andrews leaving, Jason. OBJ, 100 yards or a touchdown in the last 3 games. I think he had 1 catch and a touchdown last game. And then he had a touchdown the game before that, 100 yards this game. And they are at the Chargers next week. An amazing matchup. So one of these dudes is going to go off next week, Jason. You got to figure out which one it's going to be.
Yeah, how do I figure that out? Isaiah Likely, he's a good tight end. I like him, but now we're seeing the emergence of Odell Beckham, and it's like, maybe do I need to go somewhere else? Do I need to pick up somebody else? Is Cade Otton still on the waiver wires?
Yeah, Cade Otton got picked up. I know, dude. Yeah, I mean, Isaiah Likely, I think, is the best option, really, because I had him last year. Remember last year, he was amazing without Mark Andrews. But it's
Different
a new
quarterback,
offensive
too.
coordinator, and that's the big fucking issue right now, dude. So that Munchen has changed a lot of shit. You know, like I said, he's got but the thing is, Jason, I also said, you know, the Ravens are like second in the league in scoring, but they only have like 36% of their points has been through the air. The league average is 60%. Nobody's ever finished for like 41% in the last like 15 years. So it's like they are going to throw more air touchdowns in the second half of the season, I would expect. So these guys, one of these guys, I'm telling you, is going to be a big pickup.
That's a good stat.
It's a good stat. Thanks, Jason.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Stat that.
Are you ready? Do you think I missed anybody? Can you think anybody off the top of your head? Because man, for like 30 minutes, I just went through and did this kind of shit this morning.
Nope.
Okay. Are you ready for the smashes and the crashes, Jason?
Yes, I am. Let's get this show on the. Let's get going. Let me turn on my mouse.
The show is not on the road. The show is in the.
Tim Boyle will start versus Dolphins on Friday.
Who will?
Tim Boyle. Boyle rules for the Jets.
Oh, they just came out with that?
Yep.
Well, I don't like that for. I don't like that for Zach Wilson, but we'll talk about Zach Wilson here in a minute. Or not Zach Wilson. Yeah, I really don't like that for Zach Wilson. Yeah, no shit. For Garrett Wilson. So, but we'll talk about that in a second. All right, Jason. We're gonna do smashes first.
All right.
T-Law. Hey, we were big T-Law dudes last year. And we were all about Evan Ingram and T-Law last year. That was one of our big hits. And this year we're like, oh yeah, dude, it's gonna happen again, even better. But we did have caution because of Jawan Taylor getting, they lost their best offensive lineman. But yeah, dude, we were still on that hype train a little bit this year. And this is his best game by far of the year, dude. Like by far, his first fucking quarterback won game.
Yeah, he's been on the crashes list multiple times this year. It's about time he gets on the smashes. ESPN projected 15 points, and he finished with 31. He was 24 for 32, 262 passing yards, and 2 touchdowns, 0 INTs. Important stat here, 5 rushes, 17 yards, and 2 touchdowns. His completed air yards average was 7.8, which is 4th best in Week 11. An average intended air yards 9.5, which was top 7. Lawrence completion percentage was 75, and that was 11.2% over expected completion percentage, which is unbelievable. That's great. I put that's dang good. I don't know why I put that's dang good, and 4th best in Week 11 for his completion percentage over expected. His rushing through the air is what made him smash with a rushing touchdown from 9 yards and 5 yards out. We talked about the struggles with the Jaguars' offensive line, but Tennessee's line is 18th in sacks a game and 17th in passing yards allowed a game. And these are the games that you're expecting Lawrence to smash. And he finally did.
Yeah, and Jason, so what, Travis Etienne has been killing it this year. I mean, he had like a month of 20-plus points.
Yeah.
Then they had a bye, came out, 4 points, 6 points. What could really hurt Etienne is if Trevor Lawrence starts running like he used to, Jason. And part of it, I can't remember how much because I remember doing the research on him, and I was like, oh, dude, people don't think about Trevor Lawrence being a rushing quarterback. He averages like 6 rushes per game over the last X amount of games last year. And Etienne was not a huge smash last year. He was good, but still, dude, like, I don't know. The Etienne might have seen his best month of the year. I know he was on some people's sell high list for that reason, but yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, but what was I going to say? 2 rushing touchdowns, Etienne. First rushing. Oh yeah, and that's what's Trevor Lawrence's first rushing touchdowns of the season. Did you know that?
No, and he got 2 of them.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like he has 0 rushing touchdowns this year, and then he got 2 this last week. This could be starting, like I don't know, a trend of some kind. And plus, Jason, Zay Jones was back. When Zay Jones is in there, that whole fucking offense functions completely different. We'll talk about that later too.
Oh,
so yeah, I think
right.
Trevor Lawrence. Would you be trading for him, or would you be trading away? I would fucking trade his ass away after this week if I could.
This is the good time. He did well, and you got what it took Week 11 for him to produce numbers like like this. And what I said before, he's been on more crashes and smashes. But this is a good week to be able to be like, nudge him out the door, be like, hey, look at this gift I brought you, Trevor Lawrence. Things are about to change. You should get him.
Yeah, and there's like a 75% chance he's going to go back to being shitty, but there is a small 25% chance. Remember last year he like finished the game. He threw an interception late last year, and then like dude, he flipped a switch and was amazing to finish the season. So there is a chance that could repeat itself, but I just go with the odds, dude. Like the odds are it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, with that offensive line, if they go up against anybody with a good defensive front.
Yeah, and we literally, Jason, we just went through our best playoff schedules and worst playoff schedules and all that. I think they're pretty much. I think there are a lot of it's average, but they did not make the worst. They did not make the best. So I'm assuming that their schedule is kind of average going forward. Ooh, I'm not going to use blue anymore, huh? That blue sucks. I gotta get a new pen, man. I've been using this black marker for like a year.
The crap out of it.
And I was like, dude, I'm so poor. I was like, this, please, God, just let it last another episode.
A little bit, shake the crap out of it.
I'm afraid. I wish it was see through so I could see how much ink is in it. But
wrap it on your tongue. Get it going.
So I apologize. That is Smashes, and that is T-Law. Okay. I'm gonna do the black. It looks. Yeah, no, it looks shit. Even in real life, it looks like shit. When I was a foot away from it, I was like, yeah, I like this baby blue. Jason, I remember you. Was baby blue your favorite color in high school?
It was with my baby blue sweatshirt. Don't laugh. It brought out my eyes. Made my eyes pop.
I don't even know why I thought of that. That's fucking weird. All right, next up. What am I doing? Shit, dude. All right, Jason. Jaylen Warren. I'm gonna write this one, and well, you know what? I'm gonna keep this going just so I'm not doing anything weird. I'll write it in a better blue. Jaylen Warren. No, fuck this, dude. I'm gonna write it in black because it fucking looks better. Jaylen Warren, Jason. He had a big game. He has been producing for you. I heard he's a high-end wide receiver too. When I'm kind of doing my research on him, crazy to think. There's two running backs that could be in the top 12, I guess.
Yeah, this is a guy I traded for and got rid of Garrett Wilson for this guy because I needed a running back. And lately he's been doing pretty good. So ESPN projected 9 points out of him, and he finished with 24 points, 9 rushes, 129 yards, and 1 touchdown, and 3 receptions for 16 yards on 3 targets. He had a 74-yard touchdown run where he reached 20 miles per hour. On that play, he was expected to only get 6 rushing yards, which means he had 68 rushing yards over expected on one play. Warren's plus 68 rushing yards over expected is the most rushing yards over expected on a single play by the Steelers over the past 6 seasons. And it was a big play against a great Browns defense. Warren ended up being a good start for the 3 managers in the country who started him. I was fortunate, or I had to start him, and he did well for me. Najee Harris did touch the ball more than Warren after rumors of Warren being the running back 1, but Warren was more effective. Take away the 74-yard touchdown, and he still managed 6.8 yards per carry. Harris yards per carry was 2.9.
Good job, Jason. I need to get a new marker because that shit literally ran out on my smash.
Yeah, I can't see anything.
Yeah, well, you're blind, Jason. So, yeah. Jaylen Warren, though, he only had like 9 rushes, dude. 129 yards. Holy shit. Najee Harris, Jason, has hit 129 yards once in his career.
Oh.
Harris saw a sub 10% target share for the first time in 6 weeks. So, yeah, dude, Harris has actually been getting, catching a lot of passes and all this kind of weird shit. But Warren was taking over everything. Warren's plus 68. Yeah, I think you already said that. Plus 68 rushing yards over expected was the most, over on a single play by any Steelers player in the last 6 seasons.
Yeah.
Jason, I do want to say this. 315 quarterbacks have 500 pass attempts since the merger. Only one has thrown a touchdown on fewer than 2% of his attempts. That is Kenny Pickett. So, you know what you want? If you want running backs on teams with quarterbacks that can't fucking throw touchdowns, because they're going to have to score anyways.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, Kenny Pickett is holding this, but there's a fine line between that and just never goddamn scoring the ball. So, yeah, Kenny Pickett, dude, has been bad. he was the guy that Jason. Do you remember Kenny Pickett was getting propped up as like he is the next like one of the breakout candidates this year?
Yeah, he had a great preseason.
Yeah, no shit, dude. And then that offensive line, all that play and everything, we were like, fuck yeah, dude. Jaylen Warren, though, Jason. I think that you could probably still trade for Jaylen Warren if you for nothing crazy. Like you could still just trade like a Calvin. You could probably trade Calvin Ridley for Jaylen Warren or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
that's kind of what I just did, or a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Well, who'd you trade for? You traded.
I got rid of Garrett Wilson.
Oh yeah, you were like you said. I'm done with Garrett Wilson. I'm fucking trading his ass. Never again. And you traded him for. I was like Jaylen Warren. Like Jaylen Warren wasn't even doing that great at the time, and ever since then, Jaylen Warren's actually been picking it up.
You got to see into the future.
Both of those players actually picked it up because Garrett Wilson started averaging like 15 targets a game. It doesn't even fucking matter what happens.
I know.
You get 15 targets a game. Oh my god.
I know. Freaking Zach Wilson.
You've been watching too much Attack on Titan, Jason. You just yell everything. I'm not afraid.
Rumbling. All right. Whole other episode.
But Jaylen Warren, like I said, if you have him, you could probably package him in. If I had Jaylen Warren, Jason, I would, after this game specifically, I would package him with somebody else and trade, upgrade my wide receiver or another running back if I could. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah.
Jason, would you even accept a trade? Like if you had a Derrick Henry right now, would you take like Jaylen Warren plus, I don't know, Hollywood Brown for Derrick Henry?
Oh man, why are you doing that to me? Hold on, what's Jaylen? I don't know. I think I would keep Jaylen.
Well, dude, because I was like, dude, Derrick Henry, like I keep on thinking he's gonna come around, and he's
right.
and you look at the last, like he does have some good games, but fuck, man, like you're playing with fire. Like he will lose you weeks right now.
And Jaylen Warren is playing against the Colts, the Bengals, and Seattle
in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, that'd be tough.
It's just I think that's the thing. I think that you could definitely upgrade somebody, but be careful. Do not go try to get Derrick Henry because Jaylen Warren is kind of is producing more than Derrick Henry lately, which is fucking crazy. But still, I still like trading for Derrick Henry if you can. I think I just got discouraged by this week. All right, Jason. Next up, Calvin Ridley. He was I was like pushing this fool. I was like, oh my god, dude, Calvin Ridley's gonna be a league winner. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, not so much. Maybe though, he still might be a league winner, Jason, because we'll talk about this in a second. There's a stat I want to tell you. What do you think about Calvin Ridley?
He's a guy that we were targeting in the 3rd and 4th round of the fantasy drafts. And he finally, actually, I think the first week he might have been on this list. So since then, not too much, but ESPN projected 9 points and he finished with 27. He had 7 receptions, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns on 9 targets. He led the team in targets. His average separation was 2.5, which is league average. And that is bizarre to me because after the training camp video, you think his separation average would be like 5 yards. But even for the season, he's only averaging 2.2 yards of separation. And a good catch rate is 77%, though. Yeah. Against the Titans, he earned 41% of the team's air yards, which is 3% higher than the season average. So they really got him involved more in this game. And his average target air yards was 13.5. So he was seen and targeted past the sticks. Nothing close to the line of scrimmage. First touchdowns since week 4 and his first game over 15 points since week 5. I think by week 11, we expected more of these games. But Lawrence and Ridley's connection hasn't been there. Out of 70 targets, Ridley's season catch rate is 60%, which is 5% lower than his career average.
That's a good stat, Jason. So yeah, Zay Jones is back. We talked about that earlier. When Zay Jones is back, Jason, like it changes everything. Christian Kirk does not run the outside routes as much. It just, I'm telling you, man, it changes everything. And I talked about this earlier in the year. I was like, man, when Zay Jones is in, Christian Kirk does not do well. And if you can look at the correlation, like in the 3 games that Zay Jones played, Christian Kirk does not do well. And actually, Calvin Ridley is the one that does super well, 20 plus fantasy points in PPR in the 3 games that Zay Jones has played this year. So when Zay Jones is playing, the power, the power, the fantasy wide receiver power shift goes to Calvin Ridley away from Christian Kirk. I am like, dude, and then Calvin Ridley even had 5 or less fantasy points in 3 of the last 4 games heading into this game. So, like, literally the only thing to change is Zay Jones coming back, dude. And yeah, man, like Zay Jones, I can't remember what happened. I thought it was a domestic violence thing, and I did not expect him to be back anytime soon. But if that stays, he's not going to get arrested or suspended, whatever. Fucking Calvin Ridley, Jason, I might want to trade for Calvin Ridley. It just sucks. You're probably going to have to pay a little bit more right now, and I went against him this week. But I'm going to try to send some trades for Calvin Ridley this week, I think.
Yeah, and kind of piggyback what you're saying, Zay Jones had more receptions than Christian Kirk this game.
I'm telling you, dude, it's like, I was talking about it after like third week of the NFL or something like that. I was like, dude, Zay Jones, I just think it's, because I was not in on Christian Kirk this year, and I was wrong. I thought he was a good value, but I didn't think he was going to be like this. And the only thing I can explain is Zay Jones. Zay Jones, dude, is a fucking maniac. I just watched. Do you remember, Jason, when he took off all his clothes and ran around the apartment or the hotel naked?
Who?
Zay Jones.
No.
I saw the domestic violence thing on Reddit, and I clicked on it. And they're like, "Well, this doesn't surprise me. This is the same guy that did this." And I fucking clicked on it.
He just doesn't care.
And he's like, he goes up to people and he's like, "I will fight for God."
Oh wow! It's like Jericho Cotry stuff.
Or Antonio Brown.
Oh,
I mean,
Antonio
these guys,
Brown.
they're on steroids and fucking getting concussions, fucking painkillers.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I feel bad for some of these dudes, man. But yeah, on a serious note, I think that's not serious.
Their illness, but now serious stuff.
If you have Calvin Ridley, I understand if you'd like to trade him, but just know that there is a chance that this could continue. And if you're feeling risky, go trade for Calvin Ridley.
I think I play him next week.
I played him this week. I had to go against Tyreek Hill and Calvin Ridley. I'm still projected to win. I have Hurts and Kelsey and the Chiefs defense tonight. I don't know why I'm starting the fucking Chiefs defense against the Philadelphia Eagles, but whatever. You do shit sometimes.
You got to power through it.
I just don't like carrying 2 defenses on my team, so.
Oh, same. You won't catch me doing that, really.
I ain't dropping Kansas City Chiefs. They're facing like 3 backup quarterbacks in the playoffs.
I dropped the Ravens defense for the Browns defense.
I dropped the Ravens defense, I don't know, in week 4, week 3.
But I don't even know if that's even if it matters. They're both getting me like 10 points a game.
Dude, I know. That's what I'm saying, dude. And it's just, you carry multiple defenses in the playoffs, and that's it. Don't do it in the fucking regular season.
Or if you don't make playoffs.
Oh, yeah. All right, Jason. Last up. This guy would surprise me, but then I was watching I don't know if it's like the all 22 cam, the camera behind the. Is this funny?
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, dude. Like, Hawkinson's getting covered like a motherfucker. This is crazy. Like, they were double teaming Hawkinson so much. Like, they were not going to let Hawkinson get the ball. I think. Maybe watching, Dobbs as far as who the hell did they play last night, Jason? I watched the game.
Broncos.
The Broncos. And they're playing good defense. They got great cornerbacks and stuff. They did not want to let Dobbs just dump it off to Hawkinson 15 times like he's been doing.
Smart.
So they eliminated that. And by product of that, Jason, Josh Oliver had a good game. How do you feel about that?
Who's Josh Oliver? Let's take a step back in time and go back to, no, I don't know where he's from. But he was projected by ESPN 0.4 points. And he finished with 12. He had 4 receptions, 47 yards, and a touchdown on 4 targets. He has 2 touchdowns this season, but this is his first game over 10 points. Like Tyler said, the game script called for the Vikings tight ends, for this Viking tight end to lead the, I think he was 2nd in receiving yards. I lost Mark Andrews this week. So do I target Josh Oliver? So
no, because he has. No. If he follows his pattern, Jason, he'll get 1 reception, 0 receptions, 1 reception, 0 receptions, 1 reception, 0 receptions. So next week he's gonna have 0 receptions, Jason. I would not do that. And like that was the most targets he's had all year. I think he had 3 targets like in week 2 or 1. He has had no touchdowns. I was even surprised he had a fucking touchdown. If you look at the dude, he's like thick as shit, and they're like, he's the blocking tight end, and I believe it. Like he looks like the blocking tight end.
I thought he was a lineman.
No, yeah, oh yeah. I was like, no, he's a tight end. It's like, shut up. So yeah, no touchdowns since week 3. This was just one of those things, game script-ish. But Jason, the Broncos beat the goddamn Vikings. Are other teams going to look at this and try to implement that? Maybe at the same time, they do not have the cornerbacks. Like, dude, the Broncos have great cornerbacks. So
yeah,
they cannot, they're going to have to focus more on the wide receivers, especially if Justin Jefferson comes back.
Right.
Yeah, dude. There's a chance that Hawkinson might start getting double teamed a little bit more.
And, with that being said, Hawkinson still was tied for first in receptions, led the league in reception yards and targets.
Yeah, so I'm still not afraid to be. I would love to be a Hawkinson owner, man, and that's coming from a Kelsey owner.
Yeah,
Jason.
Yeah,
let's get to our crashes. The people that did shitty, and this dude right here has 8 or fewer fantasy points in each of the last 3 games. You're like, oh, that's not that bad. Well, guess what? He's a fucking quarterback, Jason. Bryce Young,
first overall pick. Guess what? He's a fucking quarterback. Let me pull up my notes here. ESPN projected Bryce Young 12 points, and he finished with 16 completions on 29 attempts, 123 passing yards. Outstanding, right? 1 touchdown and 1 interception. This fool was sacked 7 times. 7. His completion percentage was 55%, and that is -3 completion percentage above expectation. His completed air yards average was 3.5. And that's like on the lower end for out of all the quarterbacks in week 11. He didn't stand a chance against the Cowboys defense being sacked 7 times. And with all the pressure, his time to throw was 2.58, which is top 10 lowest in week 11. He didn't have enough time. And his line was just, they couldn't keep up with the Cowboys. And he had another interception that went pick 6. I don't think a lot of people started Bryce Young against the Cowboys, but I think overall for the season, I think the Carolina Panthers are kind of wishing they had C.J. Stroud as the first pick instead of Bryce Young.
Kinda, Jason. They're going to bed crying. Their fucking pillows are soaked in tears.
Have you seen that? What's that guy from Family Guy? Little Stewie?
Yeah.
Where he's all like, whatever, good night. And he turns over and but he starts crying. He's like,
it must be like a meme or something.
It's a TV show,
Family Guy. My wife loves that shit. I like the Family Guy. American Dad, not so much.
Why do they make his chin so big? Is that just is that like Americans? Do we have big chins? I know I got 2 of them, but does he have one singular big one? It's like, is that a thing?
No, Americans don't have big chins. They just have multiple chins. We got that obesity, dog. You want to fuck with us? We got that
McDonald's drive-through.
All right, Jason. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
Me either.
Yeah, Bryce Young, dude. Like I said, 8 or fewer fantasy points in the last 3 games. Under 200 passing yards in each of those games, Jason. He had 123 this last game. That's the fewest of the year, but it's like, dude, come on, man. I don't. I was thinking last year when Brock Purdy was getting 200 yards a game and he was Mr. Irrelevant. God damn it. I got to work on that word.
Irrelevant? Yeah.
But I know that's a totally different team. This is a shitty team. He's got nobody to throw to. And it sucks, man. But, 1 game with multiple touchdown passes this year. And he had to go against Dallas. Did I think he was going to crash this game? Yeah, probably. But it's this is multiple games. It doesn't even matter who he goes against. He had a good matchup against somebody last week and he fucking sucked. So, Jason, Bryce Young moving forward. Yeah, Chicago. It was Chicago.
Thursday night game. That boring Thursday night game.
You're right. And I was like, dude, Chicago, man. He'll probably do well against Chicago.
Yeah.
No. So, yeah, dude, Bryce Young, it's a multiple thing. It's a lot of things. And I don't put it all on Bryce Young. It's like, dude, the coaching, the fucking talent, the offensive line, everything. But Bryce Young is certainly not worth starting in fantasy anytime soon, and he is not going to be drafted probably next season at all. He's going to be on your waiver wire to begin the year with.
Exactly. I think heading into or for the rest of the season, Tyler, if he's not on smashes, we're not even going to talk about this dude.
Oh yeah, I mean, because this is expected from this point moving forward.
Yeah, it's over.
Jason,
Yeah,
this guy right here has been really inefficient, but he's been getting volume. And when he doesn't get the volume, Jason, he will be a crash. And this is kind of scary.
yep.
New offensive coordinator, but dude, the offensive coordinator usually makes the run game go, go, go. Austin Eckler.
Yeah, this was such a weird game for Austin Eckler. And I'll tell you why. ESPN projected him at 17 points, and he finished with 5. He had 10 rushes for 64 yards, and that's an average of 6.4 yards per carry. He also had 2 receptions on 6 yards on 3 targets. He did have a fumble loss on a goal line carry, which is pretty huge. 30% of his rushing total was over expected, which was on the lower end for running backs in week 11. His rushing yards over expected per attempt was 2.92, only behind Saquon Barkley in week 11. Eckler should have had a bigger game. The Packers gave up 24 points to running backs. This was his lowest usage out of the season, only touching the ball 12 times. It's a missed opportunity for managers and Eckler to have in their lineup. I think they for some reason, like, you would go into this matchup thinking like, okay, this is the Eckler game because of how the defense plays. But no, they were sticking with Herbert and like throwing the ball. That probably was also the problem of why they lost that game. Or did they win?
Yeah, dude.
I think they lost.
Yeah, and I don't. That was just a weird one too. Like you said, like the game script called for Eckler to get a lot of touches.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like it was his fewest amount of rushing attempts on the season to pair with the second lowest amount of targets on the year. He only has 1 receiving touchdown, Jason, in his 6 games. I thought it was crazy. He's been back for fucking 6 games. That blows my mind. I feel like he just got back. But yeah, dude. So with Austin Eckler, I think he has he only has rushing touchdowns in 2 of those games, and he has receiving touchdowns he only has 1 receiving touchdown. So he needs volume. He's not getting the touchdowns that he was last season. Jason, like last 2 years, he's been a touchdown outlier. Remember that?
Yeah.
It's all the fucking touchdowns. Well, that is not the case this year. He needs the volume, and when he does not get the volume or the touchdown, he can be. This is his floor. This is Austin Eckler's new floor. Jason is a crash.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Get some tile to put in that floor because it is. I don't know what I meant by that, but
I was like, get some tile. I was like, fuck your tile.
Like, it's his new floor. I was like, put some tile down.
Oh, we got a new floor. Yeah, this is a new floor, and it's shit. No, that's tile. This is like linoleum. This is some linoleum shit.
It's dirt. Yeah, well, it's like it goes the same with like Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry only had 10 rushes attempts this week too. It's like these are your big backs. These are your star backs. These are the backs that help you win games. They need to get the ball more than just 10 times.
Backs. Jason likes backs.
Lean back. Lean back.
I
got my baby back ribs.
God damn it, dude. Only, what was I going to say, dude? I forgot what I was going to even talk about. Oh, would I go trade for Austin Eckler after this game? Yes, but
he seems so unsure. Which by saying yes.
Well,
I see you're saying yes, but your face is saying no.
Well, no, I was thinking I've got Keenan Allen, so I was like,
oh yeah,
no,
okay,
yeah, no, yes,
yeah.
But like I would still fucking try to get Austin Eckler on my team, dude. Like after a bad week, he's a primary back on a high scoring offense, man. So I mean, this is his floor, but I'd still try to get him on my team.
They just misused him. The Chargers misused how they should have gone with Eckler. What am I seeing here? Actually, Justin Herbert led the team in rushing, 73 yards. But Joshua Kelly only had 6 rushing attempts, so it's not like Joshua Kelly was like.
Yeah, but if you think about the share of that, that's like, I mean, shit, that's almost like a 50. That's like 40%. So,
right, but
that's the only shitty thing about that.
I think the Chargers just messed that up. It was good for me because I had Herbert, but Austin Eckler needs to be more.
I was thinking that they're going to fire Brandon Staley after that game. So, and then Kellen Moore will come in, and you'd think that the defensive coach would run the ball. We need to run the ball.
Right.
So I don't know. No. I don't know what would happen if Kellen Moore was turned into the head coach there. I don't know. Probably would be better than what's going on right now. I am a Keenan Allen owner, so I really don't give a fuck what happens. I just want him to keep on getting his targets.
Yeah.
All right, Jason. On to the next one. This is a guy that you traded away. You probably feel good about him this week. Jaylen Warren was on our smash. The guy that you traded away for him is on our crash. You succeeded. Garrett Wilson.
For week 11, yeah. He was projected 13 points, and he finished in our home league -1. Yeah, you heard right. He had a fumble, and our fumbles in our league are -2. I think that's kind of the norm for leagues, but he had 2 receptions on 8 targets, he had 2 receptions for 8 yards on 8 targets with a fumble loss. We're looking at a 25% catch rate. These games are to be expected with Zach Wilson while they're on the road. Wilson only had 81 yards passing before he was replaced by Tim Boyle rules. Bills dominated the game. Next week should be better, at least for Garrett Wilson, because they're at home against the Dolphins, who allowed 37 points to wide receivers.
Jason, remember when I got suspended? I got suspended in 8th grade for selling Pokemon cards. I'd be like this. You want fucking meat? You want Ghastly?
Ghastly? Yeah, I traded a Ghastly for a holographic Blastoids with my sister.
I was gonna say, dude, I had a first edition Charizard. I had all that shit, and I'm pretty sure I sold it for drugs.
Meet me behind the cafeteria.
Jason, Garrett Wilson had a 29.6% target share, yesterday, whatever it was. He scored 0.9 PPR points. So even in PPR, he didn't even score a fucking point, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
That's the second time a wide receiver has had a 25% target share this season and failed to score a point. T. Higgins, week 1 against Cleveland, also did the same thing. So I thought that would be super rare. I thought that's happened twice this season, Jason.
I think it's supposed to be rare.
I think it is.
I think it's supposed to be.
What the fuck's going on around here?
Yeah.
All right, man. Last one. This guy, people were trading away. I really liked Laporta. I was telling people to draft Laporta in the beginning of the season, but I got Kelsey. I could have been a person that got Hawk and Laporta, or something like that, Mark Andrews and Laporta, something. And we were saying, hey, trade away your Hawkinson or whatever, keep Laporta, because you could get so much for those other guys. Dude, Laporta, last couple of weeks, Jason, he's not been doing too great since the bye.
Yeah. Sam Laporta. He was projected by ESPN. Projected 8 points by ESPN. He finished with 3, I believe. 3 receptions, 18 yards on 5 targets. 5 targets appears to be the norm for Laporta, and he has a few games in there sprinkled in with like 10 plus targets. And he has 4 touchdowns on the season. He has a high ceiling, but Tyler, his floor is still higher than most tight ends too.
I mean, he's still a top 5 end. He's probably a top 5 tight end play each week, if I had to guess. Especially now with Mark Andrews out, he's probably, worst case scenario is like 6 or 7, but still. Because Dalton Kincaid's been coming on hot, and Dalton Kincaid's, I didn't even check to see if he did well this week. Holy shit, man.
He had 4 points.
Okay, well, there you go, dude. So, same thing. He's
sorry. Laporta had 4 points. I said it wrong. I'll check Kincaid.
Fine. But, dude, 18 reception yards, Jason, his lowest of the season. And I have a reason why this is happening.
Oh.
He's had back-to-back games with 6 fantasy points or fewer, 5 targets in each of those 2 games since the bye. Jason, what has been going on lately? Since Gibbs has been tearing it up,
he's getting the receptions.
Fucking Laporta is seeing his yardage and targets drop. Gibbs is averaging 6.5 targets per game over the last month. So over the last month, you can tell Laporta has not been getting his shit. Gibbs is running a lot of that same part of the field, Jason. Running backs coming out, shallow routes.
Mm-hmm.
Middle of the field, flats, and stuff like that. Laporta has not been needed as much. Jameson Williams is back, dude. So it's just like, there's just more there's just more mouths to feed. They even have Donovan Peoples-Jones now, but I think the biggest reason is Gibbs. And now with Montgomery coming back, dude, Gibbs is doing all the even more catch. You know, it's like it's a specialty now, is being catching all these balls.
Yeah.
So Laporta, I don't think that I think that we saw the best of Laporta this season, which is sad because he was going to win people leagues, man.
Yeah, and that makes good sense. That's a good analyst that you just did right there. Why do you got to do sound effects though with it?
Because I don't know. How would you know if it's the butt or not? I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, something was going in, but you're farting out, or something. I don't know.
Hey, it makes farting noises when you go in sometimes too.
I guess you're right. I guess so. I heard. Man, what the hell are we talking about? Oh yeah, like Jahmyr Gibbs. He did have 6 targets and 6 receptions last game, so that could be cutting into Sam Laporta. That does make a lot of sense.
So Sam Laporta, I would try to package him and trade for Kelsey, but it's if Kelsey has a bad game this week again. Because Kelsey owners are like, what the fuck? I mean, you might be able to put together something for Hawkinson, but I doubt it. Maybe you could. But if you want to try to package up and get Kelsey or Hawk, I don't know what else. Now Andrews is gone. I don't know what are the tight end you'd really want other than Laporta.
Kincaid also had 7 points.
Yeah, and I just know that Dawson Knox is coming back. And once Dawson Knox comes back, I don't expect so much Dalton Kincaid. So that's my problem with that. So, I mean, if you could try to upgrade to a Kelsey or, the next tier of tight end, I would.
Good luck.
And as far as trading for Sam Laporta, I probably would not, because his value in the owners' minds of the Laporta owners is probably not worth what you're going to have to give up to get him.
Yeah. This guy scored 17 points. Give me Kelsey and Mahomes stack. Yeah. And
so we had a long weekend. Thank you for dealing with us today. We were a little off. Our show will get back on track this week to the normalcy. Hey, we got fucking Thanksgiving coming up, Jason. I forgot about that. So I'm staying here. No, it's this week.
No, I'm sorry. I was thinking of, you said something and I was talking about that, but then Thanksgiving got involved. It was mushed together like mashed potatoes.
I was like, oh shit.
So Thanksgiving is this week, but our videos aren't going to be back to normal until like next week.
Oh, there you go. Well, I'll be here, dude. I got nothing going on, so I can put out whatever I need to. But you're right. Yeah, because our start and sit, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Our player pause, yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we'll come out with something different. We might get an idea and come out with another video or some stupid shit. But again, Waiver Wire show will be on Sunday. Earliest Waiver Wire show on the planet. I do apologize. But, dude, I couldn't even keep my eyes open, dude. I was like, it was terrible. So anyways, that is the show. Thank you so much for watching. Jason, please send us out.
We'll come up with some stuff we'll think of some stuff to come out later this week. That's really all it. And we'll talk to you then. I'll talk to you then. Deuces.
Hey, hopefully we earned a thumbs up. Hopefully we earned a subscription. If you are not already subscribed, please subscribe. We need help with this show, man. Like, we got full-time jobs. We got to do all this shit. If we could, actually start making money and put more time towards this, that would be amazing. We put way too much time towards this anyways, dude. It's crazy. But yeah, please support the show. That would help us tremendously. Hey, and hasta la vista.